Inquisitor's Log, Entry 1. This compendium seeks to document the illustrious beginnings of the one known as the Emperor, the luminous architect of humanity's destiny. May this account serve as a guide for those who must understand the roots of our Imperium, veiled in both myth and unyielding truth. In the mists before recorded history, when Terra was a land shattered by strife and ruin, a being of unparalleled essence came into existence. He was not born in the way of mortals, but arose as the collective consciousness of countless shamans who, foreseeing a dark age for humanity, sacrificed themselves in a great ritual. Thus, the Emperor emerged, the Eternal One, imbued with the combined knowledge and power of generations. He wandered the lands, hidden yet ever present, watching as humanity stumbled through ages of enlightenment and catastrophe. From the fertile plains of the Nile to the dense, whispering forests of ancient Europa, he walked as a silent guardian. His influence was subtle, a gentle push here, an unseen hand there, guiding inventors, leaders, and philosophers to moments of brilliance that would echo through time. Whispers of a golden figure appear in the most ancient legends, known by many names: the Hidden One, the Great Artificer, or the Shepherd of Shadows. Where famine threatened, he brought rain. Where tyranny crushed hope, he sparked the fires of rebellion. Yet always he remained an enigma, fading from memory as quickly as he appeared, leaving behind only the faintest trail of myths. His purpose was never in doubt. The Emperor foresaw the time when Terra, a jewel now tarnished by the fires of war and division, would need unification. He saw only with humanity united could the stars themselves be reclaimed, and so the Eternal One watched, waiting for the moment when he could step from the shadows to become the guiding light of mankind's salvation. As millennia unfurled and the wheel of time turned, the Emperor remained a silent steward. His eyes, ever vigilant, bore witness to the great rise and fall of empires. He stood on the precipices of ancient battles where the clang of bronze met the silent resolve of his unwavering gaze. When the towering ziggurats of forgotten civilization crumbled and the voices of kings turned to echoes, he was there, an eternal observer sculpting fate with a touch as delicate as a breath. There are stories from the Indus Valley where an enigmatic figure advised rulers with words said to be spun from the threads of the divine. Some claim that in the courts of Athens, a mysterious man whispered philosophies that would shape the very fabric of reason. The Romans, with their insatiable drive for conquest, unknowingly mirrored the Emperor's vision, a vision of unity built on the ashes of conflict and forged through the fires of ambition. He was never idle. While leaders vied for power and the common folk gazed up at constellations, pondering their place in the vast expanse, the Emperor toiled. His was a work not of swords, but of subtlety. Minds inspired, technologies hinted at, and dreams sparked by visions glimpsed in restless slumber. Always he moved in the background, a golden thread in humanity's grand tapestry, one stitch at a time. But humanity, frail and fleeting, would forget. Each epoch brought new names for the unseen figure, the wandering sage, the golden spectre. His influence whispered in the annals of oral histories and sacred texts, hidden in parables and sagas long mistranslated. Still he endured, knowing that the time would come when his role would shift from myth to the sharp clarity of reality. Yet, even as Terra changed, as the skies blackened with the smoke of industry and the thunder of war drums, the Emperor held to his purpose, the unseen guide through the ages, whose legacy was etched not in monuments, but in the spirit of progress he sowed within mankind. The age of subtlety came to an end when Terra descended into chaos. Warring tribes and techno-barbarians, each vying for control, had splintered the once great planet into a fractured war zone. It was then that the Emperor, no longer content to be a hidden hand, revealed himself in full glory. Draped in power that radiated like the sun, he took command with a will forged in millennia of observation and patience. The unification wars were brutal, marked by the clash of metal and the roar of mechanized behemoths. The Emperor's forces, clad in the armor of the Proto-Astartes, marched with an indomitable resolve. Their steps resonated through the barren plains, echoing like thunder. Alliances were forged and broken, and cities once thought impregnable fell under the relentless tide of the Emperor's vision. He met each warlord's defiance not with wrath, but with the cold certainty of destiny. For those who surrendered, there was a place in the new world order. For those who resisted, there was only silence and ruin. The Emperor's voice became the voice of Terra itself, his decrees reshaping the very fabric of governance. The tribes that once bled the land dry were either united or crushed beneath his iron fist. When the fires of conquest subsided, Terra stood transformed. No longer a land of disparate warring factions, it had become the seat of power from which the Emperor would gaze upon the stars. But the cost had been steep, and the echoes of those battles lingered like scars upon the earth. With Terra united, the Emperor's gaze shifted skyward. He saw not just a world, but an entire galaxy, teeming with humanity, scattered and divided by the long dark of old night. To reclaim what was lost, he envisioned the Great Crusade, an era of boundless ambition, where the stars would once again know the march of human feet and the song of victory. The Emperor, a master of genetic mastery, created the Primarchs, 20 beings of unparalleled strength, intelligence, and spirit. They were to be his generals, his sons, and the extensions of his will. But even before they could lead, tragedy struck. The Primarchs were torn from Terra by the chaotic forces of the warp, scattered to the far reaches of the galaxy. Undeterred, the Emperor pressed forward, founding the Legiones Astartes, The Space Marines, warriors crafted in the image of their lost Primarchs. With them, he launched the Great Crusade. Warships of adamantium hulls and engines fueled by the ancient secrets of fusion cut through the void, carrying the Emperor's message of unity and enlightenment. World after world, the legions reclaimed the remnants of humanity. They brought both peace and conquest, their battle cries echoing through star systems and their banners unfurling under alien suns. The galaxy was vast, yet the Emperor's revolve was vaster still. His vision was not merely the expansion of an empire, but the rebirth of humanity, unchained from ignorance and the malevolent forces that lurked in the dark. But no grand vision comes without cost. While the Emperor's armies pushed the boundaries of the known galaxy, claiming lost worlds and uniting humanity under a single banner, darkness stirred in the unseen corners of reality. The Imperium realm of the warp, filled with chaos and whispering malevolence, grew restless. The forces within plotted to subvert the Emperor's great ambition, sowing seeds of corruption among those closest to him. Among the stars, the loyalty of once unyielding generals and noble warriors began to waver. Pride, jealousy, and the allure of forbidden power twisted hearts and minds, leading to cracks in the unity the Emperor had so painstakingly forged. This insidious decay culminated in the most harrowing chapter of human history, the Horus Heresy. Yet even before the storm of betrayal reached its peak, the Emperor was not blind to the shadows encroaching on his grand design. He knew that sacrifice was inevitable, and that the cost of preserving humanity's future would weigh heavily upon him and those he cherished. The tale of the Primarchs, their virtues and their flaws, became intertwined with this fate. Thus, as we continue this journey, we must turn our gaze to these legendary figures, the Primarchs, warriors, leaders and sons who each bore the mark of their father's vision. Through their deeds and choices, the destiny of the Imperium would be written, and the echoes of their legacy would shape the fate of mankind for millennia to come.